Okay, so we already did video number 27 on directing narcissism, addressing the victims of narcissistic people. And in this video, we want to do a little bit of a part two. And I do have Sally online with me to kind of go over some of these points. How you doing, Sally? Can you hear me?
I'm good. Yep.
Okay.
Hello,
Hello, everyone
everyone.
from Paris, you know. Okay. Okay. She's having tea and crumpets. So we want to talk about, we're talking to the narcissist now, and in talking to a narcissistic person, um, I was just mentioning to Sally that I'm really a bit more on the side of a narcissistic person because bear with me, inherently a narcissistic person is self-centered, self-interested. They're less considerate about other people's feelings, and they're selfish. And people are whining and complaining and giving them the label of not just being selfish and self-centered. It's, oh, you're narcissistic. Ooh, what does that mean? Because you're really, really good at caring about yourself and giving less of a damn about other people. In my opinion, that's actually doing other people a favor. And here's why. Because it's really saying, by me looking out for myself as a narcissist or a self-centered person, I'm not going to coddle you. I'm not going to watch out for you. And what does that give birth to in the victim? It gives the victim, I say that not really, there's no victim. There's just people claiming to be and giving their power away, which is never true. It's basically victims saying, I don't want to take responsibility for this. You know, I'm just going to complain about you a little bit longer. That's all being a victim really is. But the point is that the narcissist. Where was I going with that, Sally?
do you? I don't want to change your subject, but do you feel that the narcissist, even though you're for the narcissist, that they seek out people with low self-esteem? These are some of the criticisms of narcissists. They seek out
Okay.
people with low self-esteem.
Okay.
They feel are better than others.
Yeah. Yeah. But okay, but hold on. Let's pick that apart a little bit. They feel like they're better than others. If, let's say I'm a narcissist and I feel I'm better than you. So what difference does it make if I think I'm better than you and I'm concerned about my own opinion and my own feelings more than you are about yours? So what? Why does that make some, in other words, what gives a person the label of, oh, you're officially a narcissist, compared to just being self-centered and selfish? And if somebody is being more selfish and less considerate, and because maybe they need to somewhere in their psyche for their own sake, then why do we got to jump up and say you're a narcissist? Because how does a narcissist owe anybody any quantity or quality or duration of loving someone before they cut it off? How is that owed to you? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I do.
What's the difference between being selfish and self-centered? Who gets to say when a narcissistic person or a self-centered person officially gets the label of being narcissistic? Who officially gets to say you're being too concerned? Usually the people say that you're being too selfish and too self-centered and too concerned about yourself are the people that aren't capable and have not given it to themselves enough, whatever they're looking for and whatever they need, whether it be in love or respect or attention or validation. Those are usually the people that want to say you're being narcissistic. Aren't they?
Yes, but a narcissist has, in history, has been criticized for such poor behavior, being rude and being self-centered and not caring for another person, not having any empathy for this other person that they're supposedly cared for.
Okay, that's just called, this isn't a good relationship. And
Agreed.
if a person isn't healthy enough on their own and whole enough on their own to walk away from it, then how are you going to sit there and blame somebody and give them this big bad dark label of being a narcissist just because they're not giving you more of what you can't give your damn self? Give it to your
Mhm.
damn self and leave the narcissist alone. I'm sorry, but I mean, like, and this is really weird. I think it's actually beautiful for someone that has been a victim or subjecting myself to a narcissist or very self-centered people. I think it's actually beautiful that I'm the one sitting here advocating for the narcissist, because it goes to show you how far, and it's not about to show how far I've come. It's about to show how far you can come as a victim, and how much a narcissist. This is really important. Let's talk about the narcissist aspect that feels the need to not just withdraw from loving someone and just be self-centered. Let's talk about a narcissist that starts to be gamey, that starts to be play mental emotional warfare with somebody. Okay? Where does that come from in a narcissist? When you start to get plotty, gamey, mm, playing into the psyche of who you love to try to get them to do and not do things that are very um, ulterior motive oriented, lying and stealing and cheating and things of this nature in that relationship. When you're functioning from that kind of standpoint as the narcissist, these things are not coming out of self-love and just self-focus and in consideration of who you're with. It's actually coming from your own place as the narcissist, from lack yourself. And when you're doing ulterior motive kind of things to hurt somebody or to take advantage of them in ways, that's taking a closer look at why you as a narcissist. To me, the subject is no longer about being a narcissist. The subject is about why you're being vindictive, why you're being plotty, why you're being mm, mm, ulterior motives. You know what I'm saying? That is a different subject to me. What do you think about that?
Well, I understand your point of view. I'm not necessarily agreeing with everything you're saying, but I do understand that your point being uh, that it is. Hmm,
My point is very pointy.
yeah,
What
I'm
do you
sorry.
what do you disagree with about it?
Um, I'm not sure that the narcissist is um, mm, all that blameless in how they can manipulate or lie or hurt other people when other people can be so sensitive and wear their hearts on
Okay,
their sleeve.
all right, but hold on a second. Let's talk
Uh-huh.
about the value that a narcissist gives the victim by being that way. Let's say as a narcissist, I'm really good at knowing your weaknesses and I'm playing against, I'm using that a little bit to get my way and my self-oriented things. You know what I'm saying? I'm using your emotions, psychological warfare for ulterior motives. How is that a gift to the victim? Most people ain't gonna see that. But I'm gonna take it to the next level.
That's true.
This is the next level stuff. The next level is it's a gift to the victim, because what's gonna happen is that at some point or another with that particular person or somebody else is that the victim is going to get the balls out or put their spine back in their ass. And they're going to
Uh-huh.
get to the point where they're ready to not let that happen. They're ready to stand up for themselves. They're ready to recognize when they're being taken advantage of. And instead of sitting there, they're going to get up. Whether and that's and that in retrospect, and I'm saying in my own journey, I can say I can look over any really bad relationship I ever had, and from this standpoint, I can say I appreciate that. I appreciate everybody that treated me poorly, and not because I'm sitting here all pissed off. This is some next level. This is some next level stuff right here. I'm not pissed about it anymore. You know, I'm not pissed about it. I'm actually grateful. Your best teachers are the ones that don't change for you. Your best teachers are the ones that treat you like shit. They are. Because when you get done with that and you see the other side of it, you know more who you are, you know more what you don't want to, how you deserve to be treated. You're willing to stand up for yourself now. You got roots behind it. You're not just wanting to feel strong. You are strong, and you know it in a way where somebody else comes along, they ain't gonna knock you over. You've given birth, they've helped you give birth to stability in a way that makes you feel at peace. It makes you feel capable of living and loving without being guarded. It makes you capable. It makes you capable to let other people be themselves no matter what. You can stop loving me at any point. You can start being an asshole at any point because I'm good without it. I'm good when it starts being bad. I'm good to get out of it. I'm okay getting out of it now. Before I used to be weak about getting out of it. I was scared to get out of it, or I was afraid to be alone. But now I know who I am. I know what I can get. I know what I deserve, and I wouldn't be in that position if it wasn't for people that treated me poorly and finally getting to the point where I was willing to stand up for myself. Not to their face necessarily. If you need to do that, go ahead. But it's about standing up for yourself within yourself. It's about between you and you. I would not be as strong as I am today about who I am and what I want and what I deserve if it wasn't for those people saying, by treating me a certain way, no, you ain't. You ain't worth it. No, you ain't. I'm not changing for you. I'm not gonna do that for you. And they didn't necessarily say it in their words. They would say it in their non-action, or they would say it in their non-willingness to talk to me or to help me work through our problems. I'm not worth it, you know? And so the point is, it's not all of my wonderful relationships that I have to thank for that. It's all of the ones that didn't change for me. It's all the ones that didn't come in and rescue me from myself when I felt like I needed to be loved. It's a service to you when somebody doesn't necessarily change for you and give you what you want or what you deserve, because how greater than therefore do you know what you deserve by claiming that for yourself? Do you know? Now that's some next level stuff. And not everybody's ready to hear that. But when you get done trying to see if somebody will change for you, a crying wolf, crying victim, and insisting that someone treat you with respect, when you get done with pushing long enough, hard enough for somebody else to be that provider for you of that, you'll stop looking to them to do it, and you'll give it to yourself, and that'll be enough for you. You won't need a co-signature about your worth because you've signed the papers yourself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Can I get an amen?
As we're talking about this, it also reminds me of how we need to look at how we attracted the narcissist into our lives in the first place. Our low self-esteem, is a radar for narcissists to pick up on.
Well,
if we
that's law of attraction stuff, you know what I mean? And that's some deeper stuff about what does a victim and a perpetrator have in common. You'll find the common denominator very quickly here between a victim and a perpetrator, or the narcissist and the victim. And I really don't believe in those labels, but for the sake of reference, we'll use them so we know what we're talking about here in placement. But the common denominator is that they both at the core of each one of them, because what's likened to itself is drawn. Like attracts like. It's simple physics. You can't experience what you're not the vibration of. And what they have in common is that at their core, they both feel vulnerable, or they both feel incomplete, not good enough. They just have different ways of dealing with it. The narcissist is perhaps outward in their hurting someone, or scavenging and taking it's like when you're starving, you do what you can to eat and screw the rest. It's desperate, you see. It's desperate. You don't do that to other people when you feel whole. Your cup runneth over when you feel whole. Yes, and
Yes.
the victim basically doesn't feel whole either, but they're not taking a hurtful approach. They're taking a you rescue me or you're an asshole approach. You respect me, you love me approach, or you're an asshole because I can't do it for myself. You see, so at the core, what they have in common is that they both feel the same way about themselves. They're just acting differently upon it. And then what was your other aspect of that?
I was just going to say that that's really important what you just said. That they're both the same.
But how does a victim attract a
The attract,
narcissist?
yes.
Well, the other beautiful thing about that is that is that we're gifts to each other, and that when you know that statement that nothing ever goes away until you learn what it's trying to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
You're learning more about yourself when you attract things that don't feel good to you. You're only going to learn more about who you are by sometimes the process of discovering what doesn't fit you too. So it's all good. It's about really changing the definition of what we think is negative, because there is no negative really, because you either win or you learn. We've talked about that before, and I love knowing that you either win or you learn. There is no loss. There is no loss. You can't lose. You can sit there with the illusion that you're losing because you don't like the way it feels, but when you're done with that part, you realize that you're getting clarification, and clarification is the catalyst for birth. Being more clear gives birth. Things you don't want give birth to things that you do want. Things you don't want give birth to the clarity of what you do want. So if I have a relationship where I've attracted somebody that doesn't feel good to me, by the time it's over, if I've done the introspective work enough, I'm going to be more clear on what I really want by knowing more clearly what I don't want. And so there is no loss. You don't have to regret you don't waste no time. Ain't no such thing as a waste of time. No such thing as a waste of time. There's only the unconsciousness of the person in it that's not looking at the fact that they're gaining knowledge and understanding of who they are more. You see, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. It's a beautiful life.
It's well said.
Well, thank you. That'll be $2.50. Do you have anything else to say on the subject?
No, I think I've become a convert. And
Convert.
and I feel as though they have gotten a bad rap.
Who's they?
Because of the narcissists. Because of victims.
I'm gonna start a campaign on the victims of narcissists.
No, it makes a lot of sense to me that there's a lot of I want to say the fact that people are attracting this, that there's reasons for that, that we all have something to learn from it. It's clarification, even if you do get involved with a narcissist and they hurt you and you feel, destroyed by it, that there's a process that you can use to get over it and to become a better, healthier person. And it's all a lesson, and it's all within our lives to prove, for us to learn and keep.
But but I think
we don't learn it.
I think that it's really important to take what the real lesson is, and the real lesson isn't, well, you just got to watch out for narcissistic people more. You know what I'm saying? It's the lesson isn't, I'm not going to love again because somebody's an asshole and they're a narcissist, and I just got to get better at learning how to identify them. That is so not the lesson to learn to me. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we kind of covered in this conversation what the lesson, the nugget is. But what else? Anything else?
Nope, I think that'll wrap
There,
it
we
up.
have solved the world's problems once again. And took what, 20 minutes? That's not bad, yeah.
Yeah, let's ask everybody else to bring up their problems so
Bring
we
it
can
on,
solve them.
man. Bring it
Yeah.
on. We got a little formula here. We're gonna knock it out the park. Bring us something else to obliterate and decimate. Bring us your problems, your insurmountable problems, and we'll get it handled. So anyway, don't forget to go on the Facebook page for Dalboye Life Coach group page. It's a really fun place to correspond and put your questions up there, as well as the subscribing to the YouTube channel, Dalboye relationship, which is where relationship and spirituality had a baby, and it's a hybrid. Um, yeah, life coach page. Blah blah blah. Bring us your next question. We'll talk to you soon.